What's up, guys? This is Courtney, one half of Brothers Deconstruction here, and I just wanted to bring a really quick analysis of the newest Super Bowl TV spot for Avengers Endgame. It raises more questions than gives answers, but that's fine with me because I'm totally okay if this is the last trailer of any kind that we get for Endgame before the movie comes out. I'm totally fine with that. But we get an opening of it kind of flashes past a few of the characters who actually got dusted or killed in Infinity War before doing the whole fading Marvel's 10 years logo thing. From there, we see that the world is in ruins. It looks abandoned or at least, largely unoccupied, saying that half of the population was wiped out of existence. We see a shot of Citi Field, the home of the New York Mets, I believe, and the grass is starting to actually cover the baseball diamond, and there are cars that are kind of in disarray in the parking lot. So this kind of adds on to my theory that a certain amount of years have passed since the snap in Avengers Infinity War. Now, going after we see these quick shots of like an abandoned world, we see that Steve Rogers is in a support group. We see that Cap is in a support group. And there's a poster that says, "What will we do now that they're gone?" or something to that effect. And he's looking like, we see a shot of him kind of, he has that expression on his face that he doesn't want to share in the group. And somebody's constantly, poking and prodding at him to share, or they're either waiting for him to share and he just doesn't want to. He just doesn't want to talk. That's the look that we see on Cap's face. We also get the start of the only dialogue that's in the trailer at all, but I'll get to that later. Hey, what's up, guys? While editing the video, I noticed that I never got back to the fact talking about the dialogue in the trailer. What Steve starts saying is, some people move on, but not us. Not us. And I think that that's a statement, a very stern statement made by a guy out for revenge, or to avenge. That's the name. It's right there on the tin. But yeah, I think that's a statement made telling us the type of mindset that Cap is in. I just noticed that I never got around to it in the actual video because I was kind of trying to keep it short, so I just forgot about it. But yeah, that statement of, some people move on but not us is definitely, I think the start of a statement before a battle cry is said or something like that. It's weird. Sorry for the shaky cam. I had to, just do this amendment real quick. But yeah, just want to throw that in. But yeah, what's going on. We don't get a good shot of who's in the group meeting with Steve, but we know that he's in one. We know that there are other people in there, and I don't know if the dialogue in this TV spot, I don't know if it's dialogue from that particular scene or if it's dialogue from another scene. They like to edit these things a particular way. Steve just doesn't look like he's coping well at all. After that, we see Tony and Nebula on I forget the name of their ship already. They're working on something. They're possibly trying to fix something or create something. Now, my only question is, how does this, in what time frame does this relate to Tony getting left on that ship alone? Like, are they building? Does Tony realize that he can't really fix his nano suit that well? And so he starts building something with Nebula to get her off of the ship to go get help. Does Nebula take whatever they're building for herself and kind of leave Tony alone? I don't really think that's the case because, like in my previous video, there's a shot of Nebula softly touching Tony's shoulder. And again, I went over the fact that touch is like that typical, "Hey, I'm leaving." So I don't think she just stole it from right underneath his nose or anything like that. So, at one point, what happens that Nebula leaves and Tony gets stranded. Like maybe that's why he thinks he's stranded, because she left maybe to go get help, and it's been so long that he's just like, well, shit, this is the end now, so let me go ahead and record this message. Also, really quickly, I have notes, so I'm going to be looking at my phone because I just want to jot them down really quickly and actually bring some order instead of just randomly rambling like I normally tend to do. So there's that. After that, we get a shot of Cap, Widow, Banner, and Rhodey walking out of Avengers HQ at night, but they're looking up at the sky at something. So what are they looking at? That's the main big question that everybody's probably going to have watching the trailer. But one thing that somebody pointed out on Twitter was there's a big enough gap in between Banner and Rhodey where somebody can fit in. So maybe somebody's being edited out of the scene for the TV spot. It's not like they haven't done it before. With Civil War, in that Super Bowl spot, they edited out Spider-Man from that face-off that they showed in that TV spot. I think Spidey was standing in between Black Widow and War Machine. You know, we didn't see that until we actually saw the movie. And even when they showed the shot of them running, like Spidey is running next to Widow. So we didn't even see that. So I think that there's somebody in this scene in the movie that, you know, they edited out. Who could it be? Could it be Scott? Could it be Tony? Could it be Nebula? Could it be Ant-Man? Like, or Scott and Ant? I'm keeping that. Like, who could it be? Could it be Captain Marvel? Who knows? You know, with the last shot of the trailer, I think it could be possibly, you know, Scott or something else. But I have a theory about the last shot of the trailer as well that kind of relates to this, so I'll get to that later. After that, we see Rocket opening the door to Thanos' hut, what I believe is Thanos' hut. You know, the biggest question from this particular scene is, what is he doing there? Obviously, he's looking for Thanos, but why? How did they find out where his hut is to go there, you know? And the other cool thing in this shot is that I kind of realized that somebody else on Twitter pointed out was Rocket is wearing the same uniform or a similar uniform from the 2008 Guardian comics that Abnett and Lanning did, that they had their run on. They kind of shaped that James Gunn kind of took the inspiration for his lineup of the team was pulled from that version of the Guardians. So he's kind of wearing a similar, you know, navy blue and red outfit. So I thought that was pretty cool. That's just like a little Easter egg that I know that I saw that was pointed out, and I got really excited for it because I went back. That was the Guardians team that I knew, that I recognized, because I went back and read a lot of their stuff around the time that they said that they were making a movie, but it was also around the time where I just started looking up a bunch of random stuff as well. After that, we get a shot of Widow, you know, doing a little bit of target practice. There's nothing really major in the scene. She just has an intense look on her face, and she's walking toward the target while shooting it. In most movies, when that happens, somebody's upset. Where does this scene fall? Was there a conversation between her and somebody else that kind of got her a little on edge, a little angry? So she goes to blow off some steam, shoot some targets. Because anytime somebody walks toward a target as aggressively as she does while shooting it, normally means that they, you know, they're probably a little upset, just a little bit. After that, we get a shot of Ant-Man and War Machine actually dropping their helmets. You know, Ant-Man activates his helmet, it comes over his head, and then Rhodey, the little faceplate, drops. Anytime that happens, you know that they're going out on a mission, or they're about to, you know, they're preparing themselves for battle. So that's as simple as that. That's the really only thing that we can gain from this scene. That, you know, they're getting ready to go out. After that, we see Thor looking at something, and then we see him walking through Thanos' hut. Now, this is definitely Thanos' hut. It's the same shape, the same kind of design and layout as, you know, the place that we saw him walking in when he took a seat and, you know, looked over his farm at the end of Infinity War. It's the same exact hut, which means Thor is hunting Thanos down, walking all through his shit, looking for him. He has Rocket tagged along with him, just looking around. Maybe Thor notices something on the table or on the ground or something. He's not looking completely down, but he's kind of looking at an angle, it looks like. So maybe that's what he's looking at. And I mean, he looks like he's out for revenge, which he should be. You know, after that colossal fuck up that he had in Infinity War. I guess I'll let him live. After that, what we see is Barton. We see a shot of Hawkeye, right? Now, I don't know what suit he's wearing here, because it could be the Ronin suit and he just has a bow and quiver, or it could be the Hawkeye kind of the stealth suit, I guess you can call it, from the Vanity Fair shoot that they had, what, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. But, you know, we saw Hawkeye, he was in the photo shoot as well, but he was wearing kind of like this all black suit. Now, I'm guessing, the only reason why I say it could be the Ronin suit, because around the shoulder, it looks like there's a hood that's kind of laying flat. So maybe he's not wearing the mask or the hood at this particular moment. He's also looking up at something, kind of worried. So he's probably fighting somebody, and he's surprised at the enemy that he's facing. It's kind of that, oh shit type of look. After that, we get a scene of Cap tightening the straps on, or tightening a strap of his shield around his arm. Now, this is pretty important, because Cap hasn't had his shield since the end of Civil War. Obviously, he didn't have his shields in Infinity War. He was using the Wakandan shields, like diamond shields, forearm gauntlets, I guess you can say. But he has his shield back. That's really big, and that means shit is about to get real, basically. He dropped it at the end of the Civil War after Tony said, hey, you don't own that, that belongs to my dad. And with that, it was kind of symbolic that he was dropping the title of Captain America. Now, in Infinity War, the first trailer, we saw that he's wearing the stealth suit from Winter Soldier, and he has a shield. Now, is it going to be, you know, the blue and silver shield, like the painting that they had in Winter Soldier, or is it just the regular shield with the slash marks on it? Who knows? We just know he has his shield back. He's tightening it. His hands are dirty. They look like they got a little bit of blood on them. Like, shit is about to get real. Whatever scene follows, what the scene leading up to and following this in the movie, I can guarantee it's going to be intense as hell. After that, what we see is a group shot of the entire team walking together. We have Cap, Thor, Widow, Rocket, Ant-Man, War Machine, and Banner all walking through Avengers HQ, obviously out to something, but all you see is silhouettes. That's a pretty cool shot, and you know that they're going on a mission. And calling, you know, going back to what I said earlier about people being edited out, I think that shot of Banner, War Machine, Widow, and Cap walking out onto like the front lawn of Avengers HQ, looking up at something, and a person being able to fit in that scene, maybe there's a person in this scene that got edited out as well. But anyway, those are my quick thoughts on the trailer for, or the TV spot for Avengers Endgame. I know I said I wasn't going to watch any more footage, but a 30-second TV spot doesn't really count. But ideally, like I said, I'm happy if they don't release anything else for the movie. So hopefully, you know, this isn't another 20-minute video that I have to edit like the previous recording was that I had to delete. Yeah, check out the other videos, guys. And I got a super late review coming up that I'm going to record, that one of those old school ones that I was talking about before. So hopefully, I'm excited to talk about it. And yeah, check out the other videos, guys. I'll see you later.